Good morning, Facebook. Today we are doing a live yoga class on my Facebook page for the first time. I don't know, maybe it's not the first time, I'm not sure. But we're gonna go ahead and get rocking and rolling. This will be up on my YouTube channel if you don't catch this video, the live class. Hoping y'all are doing amazing this morning. Tell you what, I sure can use this yoga class this morning. Having air conditioners on and all that fun stuff is causing all kinds of crazy feelings in my throat, in my body. So this card jumped right out of the deck, so we're gonna go ahead and go with true manifesting is about receiving what is of the highest good for all. So true manifesting is about receiving what is the highest good for all. So as we're in our practice today, we'll set the intention to manifest things that are the best for everyone, which includes ourselves. So let's start at the top of our mats in our standing mountain pose. Feet hips distance apart, just starting to shift our weight front to back in our feet. Take a couple of nice deep breaths in through the nose, out through the nose. If it's comfortable, closing our eyes. Just beginning to tune in to our bodies, bringing our awareness inward. Starting from the bottom of our feet and working our way all the way up to the crown of our head and noticing any areas that maybe we're working on healing right now. Maybe tight areas in our bodies. Just taking a couple of nice deep breaths here as we tune in and connect. Allowing the belly to expand on the inhale and contract on the exhale. Then we'll begin to combine movement with the breath. As we move, allowing the breath to lead the movement. So as we begin our inhale, we then begin to sweep the arms out and up. As we begin the exhale, we then begin to press the hands down by our sides. Just continuing to breathe, to move with this breath pace. Inhaling, arms reach to the sky. Exhaling, arms pressing down. Imagining we're pressing through sand or through water, so there's resistance in this movement. Maintain that micro bend in our knees. Continue to feel that connection with our feet into the mat and the flow of the breath and our arms moving down on the exhale and up on the inhale. And we're just going to be here for 3 more breaths. Eyes closed if it's comfortable. Thinking, what am I manifesting that is the greatest good for all? What do I need to attract into my life that will benefit the greater good as well as myself? Last one, arms reaching up overhead, letting our palms connect. Exhaling, we're going to sit back to our chair. Hands come to heart center. Knees stay tracking with the toes. Pulling the belly button in and up. Almost so much that it feels like we're lifting ourselves up in this chair pose. Shoulders continue to relax down. Find length in the back of the neck and the spine. We're going to flow here, inhaling, arms sweep out and up, reaching to the sky. Palms connect, exhale, we sit back to our chair. Inhale, arms sweep out and up, reaching to the sky. Exhaling, palms connect, sitting back to our seat. And just flow here, 8 more chairs here. Breathing in and expanding. Exhale to seated. Inhale, extend. Exhale to chair. And as we're flowing in these movements, just drawing our awareness to the body, to the core, to our feet. Breathing and flowing. Working on really engaging those glute muscles as we lower and extend. And last, chair. We'll reach, extend, and then we'll step wide on our mats. Feet wider than hips, distance apart. We're going to turn the heels in so that the knees are externally rotated out. Find length in the spine. Reaching arms up, 5-pointed star. Nice full breath in as we lengthen through the sides. Exhale, lower to moonflower. Hands come down by our sides. Stay lifted in the chest. Try not to lean too far forward. Hold here. Adjusting the distance between our feet as we need to. Then we'll flow with the breath. Press to the heels. Extend, 5-pointed star. Exhale, lower. Moving slowly with the breath. Feeling the flow of air coming in on the inhale and flowing out on the exhale. Noticing as the breath comes in through the nose, maybe out through the mouth or the nose. Let's do 3 more. We'll transition now to sunflowers. So just a deeper hinge at the hips, bringing hands to the knees, lower the hips, and then maybe pressing up, reaching to the sky. We can stay here if this feels good. Or we can remove the hands from these, sweep the arms down, and back up to the sky. Keeping a nice flat spine. Really getting into the hip flexors. Really warming up the shoulders. Ooh, breathe, let go. We'll do 4 more. Remembering the option, we can always bring hands to our knees and use that extra support if we need it today. Last sunflower, sweeping the arms back to the sky. Toes point forward. Interlace the fingers, pressing our hands to the sky. Maybe a little back extension, micro bend in the knees, lifting up through the heart. Find neutral, arms come down by our sides. Bring hands into the hip creases, micro bend in the knees. Press the hips back, length through the crown of the head. Bring hands to our knees. Hold here and just really connect in with the inner core, finding length in the spine from the tailbone all the way to the crown of the head. And here, let's just explore the hips just a little bit. We're just gonna squeeze the glutes. So externally rotating the inner thighs a little bit. And just notice how that feels in the lower back, in the back of the neck, all the way up the spine. And now let's internally rotate the thighs. So press the tailbone back, blossoming our sit bones to the back of the mat. Now noticing again, how does that feel in my lower back? And now from here, from this internally rotated position in our hips and our legs, we're going to just exhale and bring fingertips to the mat, maintaining that nice flat spine. Bend the knees a little bit more if we need it. And then exhale, just let the head hang. Wide stance, forward fold. Breathe and lengthen. Allow gravity to pull us down closer to the mat. Crown of the head extending long. Tailbone is pressing up and back to the sky. And just breathe here. And then from here, we're just going to take the left toe, pointing it to the front of the mat, walking our hands around, lifting the right heel up, coming into that low lunge position. And from here, we're going to step the back foot to the top of our mats, forward fold, chair pose. Hands can be at heart center or extended out overhead. Extend, reach to the sky. Exhale, standing mountain pose. First round of sun salutations, holding each pose for 3 breaths. Inhaling, arms reach, find that inner core, finding our feet, arms relaxing down and away from our ears. Nice full breath, feeling the rib cage expand on every inhale, feeling the inner core, feeling the belly button pulling in and up on every exhale. Lengthening through the spine, bending the knees, press the hips back as we fold forward on the exhale. Nice long spine. Pressing the inner thighs to the back edge of our mats, letting the head just hang. Length through the spine. On every inhale, feeling the space between the shoulder blades expanding. Relax and release. Inhale, halfway lift, monkey pose. So going into our monkey pose, keeping everything from the hips down connected. All we're doing is flattening the spine, lifting the back up just a little bit or a lot. So we're really activating those hamstring muscles, the glute muscles. Just lengthening out, pressing into the shins or the tops of the knees. Or if we have really long arms, maybe fingers to toes. The magic is keeping the hips pressing back, the inner thighs pressing back, lengthening through the spine, pulling the belly button in and up. Exhaling, hands come firmly to the mat, bend the knees as much as we need to, and then stepping one foot, then the other back into plank. And now from here we can press back to child's pose or lower one knee or both knees, lower our whole bodies down in control through chaturanga. Toes point back, squeeze the knees and ankles together, shoulders roll back. Press the pelvic into the mat, lengthen through the spine, breathe. Creating a strong foundation from the hips down to the toes. Inhaling, lifting only as high as we can so our feet don't start to lift off the mat. Breathe and lengthen, cobra pose. And then our next exhale, we're going to tuck the toes, press up and back, downward facing dog. Alternate, press one heel, then the other into the mat. Pressing the hip bones up to the sky. Finding length and opening in the backs of our legs. Breathing. Just bringing our thoughts and our awareness back to that mantra, that intention we set at the beginning of class. What am I attracting? What am I manifesting for the greater good? On our next inhale, extend the left leg straight back. We can either baby step our feet to the top of the mat or step that right foot next to the right hand, landing it nice and softly. High lunge. If we baby stepped our feet, we're in forward fold. If we step through, we're coming into our crescent lunge. Holding here. And then we're going to shift our weight forward, back, but stepping up. Now we're all in forward fold. Breathe and release, letting go. Let the back of the neck lengthen and relax. On our next inhale, sitting back into our chair, flatten the spine, and then lift into chair pose, or otherwise known as fierce pose. Length through the spine, pressing palms together. And then on our next inhale, circle sweep the arms out and up, extended mountain. Other side, exhale, forward fold. Again, length through the spine, pressing the inner thighs to the back edge of our mats. Inhale, halfway lift, monkey pose. Length through the spine. Breathe. Pressing the tailbone back, pulling the belly button in and up. Nice full breath. Exhaling, hands come all the way to the mat, stepping back to plank. We can hold here in full plank, or we can lower all the way down to the mat. Cobra or up dog. If upward dog isn't a normal part of your practice, let's all just stick with cobra for today. We're just breathing. On our next exhale, toes tuck, lifting the belly button up as if we're pressing it up and back, coming to all fours, downward facing dog. Length through the back of the neck, hips pressing up and back. Knees can be bent and heels lifted off the mat. And alternate, press one heel, then the other into the mat. And just breathe and release. Feeling that length and openness in the whole posterior chain, the whole back side of the body. On our next inhale, left leg extends straight back. Driving that left heel into the mat. Right leg's back. And then we're going to step through high lunge or baby step the feet to the top of the mat. Inhale to a crescent lunge. Exhaling, shifting our weight forward back, but stepping out, forward fold. Chair pose. Extended mountain. And exhale, forward fold. One breath, one movement, flowing a little faster. Inhale, monkey pose. Exhaling, plank. Hands to the mat, stepping back to plank. Inhale, lengthen, find that inner core. Exhale, lower. In control. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Downward facing dog. Right leg extends. Baby step the feet forward or step through high lunge. Finding the strength and stability here. Then we lift to our crescent. Exhale, we shift our weight forward, back foot steps up, forward fold. We're all meeting now in forward fold. Chair pose. Extended mountain. Forward fold. Finding our core, finding our purpose. Inhale to monkey pose. Finding that strength and stability. Exhale, stepping back to plank. Finding that grounded feeling as we lower to the mat. Inhale to cobra or up dog. Finding strength in our spine and length in our spine. Find that inner core. Toes tuck as we lift up and back. Downward facing dog. Feeling light in the body, feeling like we're floating as we engage the core. Right leg extends, step through high lunge. Crescent lunge. Exhale, we step through forward fold. Breathe here, chair pose. Extended mountain. And standing mountain pose. From here, we're going to transition to our warrior sequence. So from standing mountain pose, we're going to use our sun salutations to flow into each of our warrior poses. As we inhale, arms again, reach to the sky, rooting through our feet, finding length in the sides. Imagine we're untucking our shirt from our pants and we're lengthening just through the sides, not lifting the shoulders, but length through the sides. Exhaling, soft knees, swan dive forward. Nice flat spine, then let the head hang. Inhale to monkey. Exhale, hands come firmly to the mat. We're gonna step the right foot back. Then we're going to lower the right heel. Bring the left hand to the top of the left knee. Windmill the arm open, coming into warrior two. So left knee is 90 degrees, tracking with the toes. Back leg is, we can be in a short stance, warrior two, or go into a deeper stance, warrior two. Keep the shoulders stacked, micro bend in the knees, arms extend out to the sides. Awesome. And we're just gonna reach forward, exhale, reach, and come back to center. Exhale, reach, and come back to center. Exhale, reach, hold here, palm faces the sky, and then we're just gonna lift into reverse warrior. Right hand reaches back, shoulders are relaxed down and away from the ear. Feel the belly pulling us up, feel the heart opening and lifting to the sky. Breathe. Keep that nice micro bend in that back knee. Come back to warrior two. Straightening the front knee. If we need to shorten our stance, we can. We're going to now practice or prepare for triangle pose. So we're reaching forward. We're pushing the hip in, and this hip, even though it's opening back, we're going to maintain that engagement in the muscles along the side. So we're not letting it just blow out into the side. We're lengthening up, pressing, and reach. Come back to center. So opening up the inner thigh, starting to develop that strength in the outer leg, inner core. Find that inner core. Big breath in, exhale, reach, reach, reach. Hold here as far as we can. Lengthening out, checking in. Can I breathe? Am I in control? Do I have nice long oblique muscles? Does my lower back feel really good here? If so, we can lower that left hand, stack the shoulders, opposite arm reaches to the sky. Now we're still pulling that hip in and up, because once we get down here, all of a sudden we have some more space potentially, so we can go deeper. But remember, we're building strength. So even if we can go further now, let's just stay, just for today, right here. Exploring this feeling. Exploring the feeling as we're holding back just a little bit. Even if we can go further, what does it feel like when I leave a little bit of space to grow? Finding a little bit of ease. Inhale, come back up. Reverse triangle, so right arm drops down, left arm extends to the sky. Keep that micro bend in the knees, shoulders relax down and away from the ears. Lengthening up, heart lifting. Breathe. Finding that peace, finding our calm strength. We're just gonna do an easy flow here. Exhale, coming back to triangle pose. Inhale, flow back into reverse triangle. Exhaling, flow back to triangle pose. Now if this isn't comfortable and it doesn't feel good, we can just move here to here and just make the movement smaller. One more triangle. And let's all meet in reverse triangle. Relax into this reverse triangle. So when I say relax into a pose, it just means let the shoulders relax. Find calm strength, calm engagement. It doesn't mean, okay, I can relax. So we're still engaged. We're just finding peace in the pose. Then we're going to exhale, warrior two. So bending that front knee, arms come out, extending from the shoulders. Drop the shoulders down and away from the ears. Breathe. Just taking a moment here in warrior two to reflect on the direction in which our arms are traveling and where our mind and heart exists. Looking into the future, we find our left hand traveling forward. Looking into the past, we find our right arm reaching into the past. We're existing in both places, but our heart and mind stays in the present. Warrior one, so square the shoulders to the front of our mats. Lifting that back heel, shifting our weight forward to lift the back heel, coming back into our crescent lunge. From here, shifting our weight forward, back foot, stepping up to the top of the mat, forward fold. Monkey pose. Chair pose. Extended mountain. Standing mountain pose. Just take a moment here to reflect on how does my body feel. My right side compared to my left side. Does one leg feel longer than the other? Do I feel more grounded and centered on one side of my body? Nice, take a nice big breath in. Forward fold on the exhale. Micro bend in the knees or big bend in the knees. Exhaling, folding. Monkey pose, halfway lift, monkey pose. Finding that inner core, finding more length in our spine. Exhaling, hands firmly to the mat. This time we're gonna step the left foot back. Drop the left heel down. Bring the right hand to the right knee. Windmill the arm up and open, warrior two. On the opposite side. Breathe. Relaxing our shoulders down. Again, knees tracking with our toes. Even if it means our hips flash forward a little bit more. But our goal is to get enough external rotation in that right leg that we can open the hips to the side. Maintain that micro bend in the back knee so that back leg is super engaged. Breathe. Here in this warrior two, thinking again about being in the future and in the past, and how our stability, even though we can go out into the future into our right hand and reach into the future and try to figure out what will happen, or we can reach into the past, but we can't stay here for long. Our shoulders will eventually get tired and we'll have to rest. So if we're always in the future and we're always in the past, we're creating more tension and more exhaustion in our minds and in our lives. The stable place to be is to remain connected in the present, in our minds and in our hearts. We have this strong foundation of our hips and our legs to hold us in this place in a really strong and sturdy way. The arms, we always have to look for the future. We have to be aware that a future is there. And we also know that our past is there. The goal is to find that center of strength which exists in the present. So we draw from the future, we draw from the past to find strength in our present. Let's reach in the future. Come back to center. Then reach into the future. Come back to center. We always have to come back to that present moment. Reach, reach, reach. Palm lifts, reverse warrior. Shoulders relax down. Hearts lifting up. Keeping that bend in the knee. Remembering we can make these movements as big or as small as they need to be in our practice today. Remember to keep that inner core pulling in and up. Length through the spine. Exhale back to warrior two. Let's straighten that front knee, preparing for triangle pose. Nice big breath in. Exhale, let's reach forward. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, reach forward. Inhale, back to center. Exhaling, reach, reach, reach. Holding here. Shoulders relax. Find that strength in the side body and the muscles of the obliques. Finding comfort in our spine. Strengthen our legs, and then we can lower the arm. Stack the shoulders, triangle pose. Breathe. Some of our triangles might look like this, and that's okay, because that's just where we are today. So we're spiraling open, thinking like we're trying to shine our hearts up to the sky. The gaze can go up towards the hand or down towards the mat, or straight off to the side. Inhale, coming back up, reverse triangle. So arms reaching up, keeping the legs exactly where they are, lifting, opening, expanding through the rib cage as our shoulder relaxes down. And then we're gonna flow between triangle and reverse triangle. As we exhale, triangle pose. Inhale, flowing back to reverse triangle. Exhaling to triangle. Inhale, reverse. Again, we're just working on that length in our spine, even though we're flowing from side to side, creating some extension in the spine. We still want to lengthen up and out from the hips, finding as much length as we can from our tailbone to the crown of the head. One more reverse triangle. Let's all meet in reverse triangle. Breathe and relax. Again, finding that calm strength. On our next exhale, let's open up back to warrior two, so that knee tracks with the toes, arms come back into that warrior two position. Warrior one. Shifting our hips, weight forward, lifting the back heel, coming into that crescent lunge. Breathe. Shoulders stacked over the hips. On our next exhale, shifting our weight forward, backward, stepping to the top edge of the mat, forward fold, holding this forward fold for 5 to 8 breaths. Just really feeling that length in the spine on the exhale. Feeling the expansion between the shoulder blades on the inhale. Maybe we grab the elbows to create a little bit more traction in the spine. Monkey pose. Giving the blood an opportunity to re-equalize into the body. Shoulders open and back. Chair pose. Arms can be extended overhead or resting at heart center. Again, knees tracking with the toes. We don't want to collapse the knees in. It's a little easier, but it's also not healthy for our knees. Take a nice big breath in, sweep the arms out and up, extended mountain, standing mountain pose. Arms rest down by our sides. Finding that strong stance in our feet. And then again, just bringing our awareness inward and noticing if the right and left side now feel balanced and connected. Relax the shoulders. Keep that micro bend in our knees. Balance pose. Today's balance pose, we're going to go from warrior 3 to half moon if you want, or just warrior 3. So I'm gonna find balance in our left leg, lifting the right heel, and then pressing into that leg so hips stay equal, so we're not dumping into that hip, so we stay centered. Keep the micro bend in the left knee. Now we can just simply step the foot back, hinging at the hip, and just step back, and that can be our warrior 3 for today. So we can look, it would look just, we have the balance, and all we're doing is stepping back and creating a little bit of a bend. Now this is a really great building place to be in our practice, because my hamstrings are firing, my calf muscles, glute muscles, everything is working here. I'm working my spinal muscles, shoulders are reaching down and back. Now if we want to take it a little bit further, hinge a little bit more at the hips, pressing the foot back, and then just find that place in the hinge, where it's time to stop. Arms can reach back, out to the sides, overhead, one forward and one back. We get to decide. Now if we want to transition into that half moon, we hinge a little bit more, arm reaches, fingers gently press into the mat. Whoop, there you go. We can stay here. Or start to stack the hips, stack the shoulders. And then when we're ready to come out, we just find ourselves back in a forward fold. So we're all in forward fold, legs together, feet together. Chair pose. Extended mountain. And standing mountain. So we just do the other side. Standing mountain pose. Again, find balance in the right leg this time. Remember, we're not dumping into the hip. Press in to the mat. Lifting our heel. Finding that transition into our warrior 3. We can just, again, hinge at the hip and step the foot back. So we're keeping in that nice flat spine as we're hinging, the hips going back, so it isn't just in the upper body. And arms are reaching back with the leg. Now we can stay here again. It's up to us to decide. Or we can begin to lift and hinge a little bit more in that hip. Finding the arm position that feels good for our pose today. Breathe. Find the inner core. Finding our core is going to help us to be lighter in our leg and in our foot. And then from here, if we want to transition into that half moon, fingers lightly touch the mat, stacking the hips, stack the shoulders. Woo! Half moon. Breathe. Ooh. And when we're ready to come out, gently unwind the pose, bring the foot back to the mat, forward fold. Chair pose. Extended mountain. Standing mountain pose. Beautiful. Let's make our way onto the mat. Big breath in, feeling strong and long in the stance. Exhaling, soft knees, forward fold. Bringing hands firmly to the mat. Step one foot back, then the other, coming to all fours. So knees under hips, wrists under shoulders. For cat-cow, just loosening up the spine, relieving any tension we have created in that last bit of balance poses. So if our knees are uncomfortable, we can always double up our mats and put that under the knees. My mat's not going to cooperate. So we have a little bit more cushion. Or another trick is to, if our toes are tucked, we're resting on our kneecap. But if we point the toes back Then we're resting on the flat part of our knee, and that oftentimes helps to create a little more comfort. So neutral spine, nice big breath in. We're going to initiate the movement with our tailbone. As we exhale, curl the tail under, rounding the spine, and then we open between the shoulder blades, chin tucks. Woo, cat pose. Breathe. In this pose, we have a little sensation like we're trying to split our mat between our knees and our hands. So like we're trying to push our hands forward and knees back. Now transitioning into cow pose on the inhale. Curl the tailbone, back first, back and up. Lengthen our hearts forward. Length through the spine. Whew, and now it's like we're trying to pull our hands and knees towards each other. Breathe. Belly button is still active, so we're not dumping into this pose. We don't want to have udders. So we're pulling it in. Shoulders back and down, lengthening, shining our hearts forward. Keeping length in the back of the neck. Now we have the option. We can hold each pose for a couple breaths or float, exhaling into cat. Inhaling into cow. Again, you have the option to hold for a couple of breaths if flowing doesn't feel good. Now, if it's starting to be uncomfortable on our wrists, we can always bring our hands a little bit forward as we transition from cat to cow. Still gonna get the same awesome benefits. We're just listening to our bodies and honoring where we're at in our practice today. Letting go of where we were in the past or where we hope to be in the future. And just being here in our strongest moment. And let's do one more cat. And one more cow. And then we'll press back to child's pose. Hips to heels. Let the rib cage rest on top of the thighs. Some of our child's poses may look like this. And that's okay. It just depends on our knee mobility. Then from here, let's make our way back up to all fours. We're going to bring our legs around front for a comfortable seated position. Butterfly pose. So bottoms of our feet together. Finding a nice strong seat. Shoulders roll back, length through the spine. Legs are just opening out to the side. Feet, even if we can pull the heels into the groin, let's keep a diamond shape with our legs. Lengthening through the spine. For some of us to find that length and unround the spine, we may have to bring our hands behind us so we can lengthen up. And then that helps us to relax the knees open. If we are feeling really bendy in our hips today, we can maybe take a little fold forward, thinking about bringing our belly button towards the heels so that we maintain that length in the spine. Relaxing our shoulders down. And then slowly bringing ourselves back up. We're going to prepare for relaxation. Knees come together, coming onto our backs. Arms out to the sides. Make sure y'all can see me. Tuck the shoulders. Keeping our knees bent. Just going to extend one leg. Bolsters in the way. One leg, the other knee stays bent. Shifting our hip of the leg that's straight towards the bent knee, or foot of the bent knee, and then twisting. All it's doing is taking our hips a little off center so that the twist feels more in line. Keeping the shoulder rooted down, both shoulders stay connected to the mat. Breathe. Inhale the knee back to center. Shifting our hips back to neutral. Bend the opposite knee, extending the opposite leg. Shift the hip off center, and then twist in the opposite direction. Again, keep our shoulders rooted down. Keep breathing. Let gravity do all the work in this twist. And if gravity is working too hard for us today, we can always take a hand and place it under the knee to reduce the length of the stretch or how far we're going into this twist. Because maybe we're nursing a lower back strain and we don't want to twist too far. So we can definitely use that support. Breathe. On our next inhale, bring the knees back to center. Shifting our hips back to neutral. Draw one knee into the chest, hug that knee in. And then the other knee, hug that knee in. And then maybe just windshield wiper the knee side to side. Before we go into relaxation, maybe do one last pose that feels good in the body. Maybe we want a little bit more hip opening. We can take the feet together. Or maybe we want happy baby, which is also a great transition pose. Grabbing the outside, we can go into half happy baby. Grab one leg, pulling it down towards the mat. Tailbones pressing down. Or we could go into full happy baby. If we're doing half, switch sides. Full happy baby. Tailbone down, shoulders relax. Breathe. If we want to rock side to side, there's that option as well. Just doing whatever feels good on the body so we can transition into relaxation with ease. So for relaxation pose, we can keep our knees bent. We can bring bottoms of the feet together and let the knees open. We can extend both legs out from the hips and let the knees open out to the side, tucking our glute muscles up and back so that we have that natural curve remains in the spine and the lower back. Shoulders tuck under, creating space across the chest. Arms can be out to the side, palms facing the sky or resting on the torso, either at the navel or the rib cage. Just finding whatever position feels the most relaxing, the most comfortable in our bodies. Just breathe and let go. Taking a moment here to reflect again back on that intention that we set at the beginning of class. Manifesting is about receiving what is the highest good for all. And in our practice today, in what ways did we receive messages or emotions or feelings that can translate into the greater good for all? Maybe because of our practice today, we feel more grounded and relaxed and centered. So any confrontations that we may experience, we'll be able to approach them with grace. That's one way that it can work. Just taking some more nice deep breaths, letting the exhales grow longer than the inhale. Allowing the shoulders to just relax down and away from our ears. Allowing the back of the neck to grow long. And the chin maybe tucks in towards the chest. Every exhale, feeling like we're growing heavier into our mat. Every part of the back side of our bodies is connecting. Relax the tongue from the roof of the mouth. Feel the flesh behind the ears just melt into relaxation. Which then allows the jaw to relax. Now, in this moment of silence, we may find our minds begin to wander. Let's just allow the mind to wander today. And just observe where the mind goes. And as we wander into maybe new places or old places, taking the opportunity to be an observer, not pass judgment, not apply labels, be outside of that observation or the situation. If you'd like to continue in relaxation, I would encourage you to do so. If you're ready to come back into the space, just slowly begin to move the body, starting with the fingers and the toes. Eventually making our way to a comfortable seat. When we do come back into our space, allowing a gentle awakening or awareness process. A lot of times we jolt ourselves back into reality, but take this opportunity to slowly transition from that relaxed state back into an action state. And just notice, just for today, taking our time. And if we've missed the opportunity, there will be more. Tomorrow when we wake from sleep, maybe take that opportunity to slowly transition back into the day from that sleeping state. Take a nice deep breath in, arms expand open, palms connect, exhaling hands to heart center. Thank you all for practicing with me today. I so appreciate you being here on a Friday morning. Have a blessed weekend. Namaste.